We would like to thank our generous underwriters, Shape Your Future, a program of the Tobacco Settlement Endowment Trust.
Today we're making honey mustard chicken, and joining me in the kitchen is Julie Bisbee with TSET.
Yeah, TSET, the Tobacco Settlement Endowment Trust, and one of our programs is Shape Your Future. So we're going to talk about some of the recipes today.
Yeah, and I'm excited for making this. What I really love about this recipe is that everything that we make, the entire meal, is going to be made in one pan.
Excellent. Helps save time, save on the dishes afterwards.
Yes, the dishes especially. So if you're somebody that likes to cook, but you don't like to do the dishes, this is a perfect recipe. We've already preheated the oven to 425 degrees. We lined our pan with foil, which if you don't have aluminum foil, you don't have to do that step, but I really recommend it. It's going to make cleanup so much easier.
Especially when you're trying to avoid the dishes.
Right, yeah. Right. So we drizzled a little bit of olive oil on the pan and then added the chicken. Now, unlike the vegetables that we need to wash, before we prepare those, chicken we don't need to wash. So we put that directly on the pan. No, it's actually recommended that you don't wash chicken because you actually can increase the risk of contamination when you wash it. When you wash chicken underwater, the splatter that it creates, it can contaminate your kitchen surfaces and your countertops, utensils, or even the food that's nearby. So we just put that directly to the pan, no prep. Now we've got a variety of some different kinds of potatoes. We've got some as small as this or the larger ones. For the smaller potatoes, I'm just going to cut these in half. But for the larger ones, like this guy here, I'm going to cut that probably into quarters just to make sure that it's, pretty similar in size so that they cook more evenly. We want everything to turn out about the same. Actually, I might cut some of these pieces in.
That's such a beautiful purple potato.
It is, isn't it? It's a pretty color. But while I cut up the rest of these potatoes, would you want to share a little bit of information about TSET or Shape Your
Yeah, so TSET is a state grant-making agency, and we do a variety of programs, and the one that we're here to talk about today is Shape Your Future. In an effort to help families live healthier, eat more nutritiously, be physically active, we have a lot of resources available on shapeyourfutureok.com, including recipes, things that you can make with your kids, or busy weeknight dinners. These are all things that we know families struggle with when it is, how can we eat healthy? How can we make a healthy choice? Let us do the thinking. Come to shapeyourfutureok.com and find easy resources to help stick to that goal.
That's great, because I know a lot of families are looking for more resources, more recipes, especially, if they're wanting to, their families to eat a little bit healthier and do more cooking at home.
Yeah, and you kind of get stuck in a rut sometimes, so it's nice to have some inspiration, incorporate different vegetables. It's important that our kiddos are trying lots of different vegetables, lots of different times, so they take those healthy habits into adulthood.
Yeah. Well, and what I like besides the easy cleanup with this recipe, I like that it's so versatile. So like we're using potatoes and broccoli, but if your family didn't have, broccoli or wanted to make, maybe carrots or green beans, they could switch that out. So we're gonna, we want it to save room on the sheet pan for our broccoli. So we're gonna go ahead and add some seasoning to the potatoes. Thank you. And we'll just add the seasoning, and then we're going to add our broccoli later to the pan. For this recipe, the broccoli is going to be added towards the end so that it still have a little bit of crunch to it. But if you were going to switch out some of those vegetables like we talked about, I think you might want to add those at the beginning, kind of like the potatoes. So like if you were going to use carrots, you might would want to go ahead and add those now to allow them more time to cook.
And what are you seasoning with?
Oh yeah, the seasoning is a mixture of salt, sea salt, black pepper, and garlic powder.
Great.
Yeah.
Just really, things most folks have already.
Yeah, really versatile seasoning. Yeah, most people have
Okay.
that. Okay, so now the topping for the sauce for the chicken, we're going to mix a sauce of 2 tablespoons of honey with a tablespoon of honey mustard. So if you'll go ahead and if you want to mix those up. And I really think that this is a great sauce. It tastes good, and it is so easy to make. And again, it's something that a lot of people will already have at home.
All right.
Thank you. And I'll go ahead and if you don't have one of these brushes, you could just use a spoon, but this basting brush, it really does, it helps to, to make sure that you get it evenly on the chicken. Okay, now that we've got those ready to go, we'll just need to put this in the oven and at 425 and bake it for about 25 minutes.
Okay.
Well, now that our chicken and our vegetables have started to brown a little bit and the juices are running clear, we're going to go ahead and add the broccoli.
Okay.
Now again, the reason that we're just adding the broccoli at the end of this instead of at the beginning is that we just want it to soften a little bit. Now, usually people will tend to overcook their broccoli.
Yes.
So adding at the end, it will keep, from it being overcooked. But again, if you were using something else, like maybe frozen vegetables, like if you had frozen broccoli or a different kind of vegetable, you might want to add that a little bit earlier on in the cooking, just to give it a little bit more time.
You could use frozen if you had it, if that was what you had available.
You could, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
And that would be a good option, if that's what somebody had available. Mm-hmm. So now we're just going to add the broccoli to the pan, and then we'll just drizzle about a tablespoon of olive oil on top of the broccoli.
Yeah, I think you're right on the cooking time. People have, strong memories of overly cooked vegetables. Yes.
Yeah.
But just through the oven, just a little tender crisp.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That way it still has a little bit of texture and crunch to it. Mm-hmm. Okay, now we'll put these back in the oven for just about 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
Now the chicken and the potatoes look nice and brown, and the broccoli looks like it softened a bit. So it looks like we are ready now, and we can add some Parmesan cheese.
Oh yes, the cheese.
Yeah. And really this adds another food group to the meal
That's right.
as well.
Little extra flavor.
And we're just going to sprinkle this around, get some on the potatoes and the broccoli. And then we're ready to, I'm going to check the temperature of the chicken.
That's important.
It's really important that, to check the meat just to make sure that it's done. And it's a good idea to insert a thermometer into the thickest part of the breast, and it should be 165 degrees, which it looks like it is.
That's good food safety.
That is.
Yes. Excellent.
So I'll go ahead and plate our meal. And Julie, while I'm plating this, would you like to share a little bit more about where people might find some of these recipes?
Yeah, these recipes come from Shape Your Future, which is a program of TSET. All of these things can be found on our website for free at shapeyourfutureok.com. We also have resources on how to get your family moving, shopping lists, a lot of things to help families have healthy, full lives, and tips and tricks to make it easy.
Yeah, and I'm sure people are going to want to find those tips. There's a lot of great recipes on your website, like this one that we made today.
Yeah, it smells great. I can't wait to dig in.
Well, Julie, thank you again for joining me in the kitchen today. It was fun making this new meal.
That's right. Thank you.
For more information about Shape Your Future, visit their website. For this recipe and more like it, scan this QR code. We would like to thank our generous underwriters, Shape Your Future, a program of the Tobacco Settlement Endowment Trust. We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.